Hi, welcome back to another video of Lord of the Rings Online. We are continuing our playthrough through the Legacy of Morgoth here in the region of Kudzagim. In the last couple episodes, we ended up rescuing Belicad. Belicad is a descendant of Be'lakor. Be'lakor was the ruler of the heirs of Castamere, who was hostile to Gondor during the War of the Ring. And there's kind of there's like a whole new council thing going on in the Kindred of the Coins, and then the reason we came into this deserty area is we were pursuing basically the protagonists of the expansion, and they ended up betraying this Belicad, and we rescued him in the desert. So we're picking up that quest, and we're on chapter 12.1, The Hungry Fire.
I observed the two of you as you brought that dying man to Shonith. He trusts not my people.
Perhaps we share the feeling. I dwelled in the emerald wood of Nessagim before the blight killed the trees. And it was men that unleashed it. No, it was not his doing. I know the lives of men are short, and he could not have been born when Nessagim withered. But I know also his kind. I am a healer. I will give you cloth to dampen in the pool, so his pains may be eased. Excuse me, sorry. Perhaps in gratitude, he will leave the Kintai be and never return. Be sure to collect the water from the deepest part of the pond. Water from the shallower reaches will not be as effective. Okay, I think what we're going to start doing here is just focus on the main quest. We have a bunch of these other side quests which are kind of interesting, but I would like to progress the main quest and focus on the main quest here. Let's see. Dampen the cloth to fill the jar. In the pond, I'm assuming. So this is the Kintai elves in Shonith. This is the elves here in Rod. Alright, how do I dampen the cloth? So this expansion's been really fun. I think the story, there's not really like a big bad of this expansion. Simply because, like, you know, Sauron is gone. There are like people loyal to Sauron, but he's, you know, at this point in Lord of the Rings Online, the ring has been destroyed. Dampen the cloth to fill the jar with water from the deepest part of the oasis. The deepest part, huh? I'm hitting delete to see if there's an interactable thing. Ah, you dampen the cloth and fill your jar from the deepest part of the oasis. So if you're new to the channel, I play a lot of Lord of the Rings Online. I play some other games too. Right now I've been mainly focusing on Lord of the Rings Online. It's my favorite MMORPG. It's this fantastic game, true to the lore of the books and Tolkien. Very lore rich. Has a fantastic free-to-play system. And so I make a lot of videos and playthroughs of the storyline. I make lore videos, class guides, general tips and such. Okay, bring the damp cloth and water to... Wait, in the northern pavilion. To Silatris. Well, where's Silatris? Oh, isn't she behind this thing? Yeah, okay. Yeah, 'cause this is where Belicad is.
Ah, you bring the items we sought from Id, right? Very good.
So it's Belicad. You help Belicad hold the jar you filled with clean water from the oasis, and he manages to drink. After a moment, he looks up at you with a guarded expression. We are not friends. These elves are alien to me, and I do not trust them. As soon as I am well enough to walk, I will leave this place and never return. But you and the elves you are right about something. If the kindred finds the hidden cache of Narhak they seek. So Narhak is like a fire potion that we discovered that Nakasi and Azagath were using in the last episode. Belakad fell silent, mopping his forehead in the damp cloth he brought from Idrad. In Gondor, they named it the Umbari Fire, for they knew not of its use in these lands, and only of it when it was used against them. But my father knew. He dreamed of harnessing it against his enemies, but even with all the men at his command, he could find no stores of it. He believed it gone from the world. It should be gone. Azagath and Nakasi must not find the hidden stockpile. I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit.
I would not agree with the heirs of Castamere about very many things. We have found the single exception.
We must catch up to our traveling companions and tell them we have learned what our quarry seeks. If Silitrus is to join us, she has suggested to me we will need to seek permission from Thrasil. Okay. Talk to Thrasil in the southern western Shanath. So Thrasil is the leader of this group of elves. So this group of elves has been pretty interesting. Excuse me. So I actually haven't in the lineup of uploading videos and like releasing videos, it looks like there's not been a break. But in like real life, I haven't recorded anything in like a week and a half because I got a cough, like not a fever. So I didn't want to do anything, but my cough is pretty much gone. Like I don't feel bad or anything. It just, I don't know. And this mic doesn't have a mute button, and if I'm playing other games, I can, I can macro hotkey the mute, but for some reason that doesn't work in Lotro, so there's not really a great way other than me just editing things out. If I was going to do more formal video, I wouldn't have, any of that in there, but this is kind of a walkthrough, walk along. You inform Thrasil of Balakad's condition and his vow to depart from Shineth. As soon as he is able to walk, you also ask for her permission to allow Silitrus to accompany you and Sigileth on your journey eastward. I am the warden of this grove, but I have not the power to keep Silitrus from doing as she wishes. Had I the power, she might have already entered Thrathruel and began to safely fade within a Verath of her own. But I do not, and she insists upon fighting the process. If she truly wishes to go with you, I hope you will keep her safe. She fights the fading, but I understand the fight is painful, even one as strong-willed as Silitrus.
The lands to the east are named Imhular by the Shagani people, and for the Kintai, they are full of memories.
Some of these painful, for we remember when the northern reaches of the Emerald Wood grew there before it withered and died as a result of the blight brought by the Ordakai. But others of these memories are joyful. The spirit of my own parents remain. The grove of Vartulin in Imhular. They faded long ago, but whenever I walk beside the trees, I feel their presence. The Kintai warden of Vartulin is Varfalin. For decades, she has sought to find some means of reversing the blight. I suggest that you speak with him as you walk at Imhular. Perhaps speaking with him will help Silitrus accept that she must fade. I do not really believe it will, but it is in my nature to remain hopeful. So these elves, basically when they say fade, it's like they give up their life essence essentially, and they just kind of like be absorbed into the tree of the forest. Okay, so we have the dead forest now. Cross the river Barog into Imhular from Kudzagim, north of Shineth. There you go. Okay, and then we have the deed discovering Kudzagim. And I might do, let's see. I just have to discover 3 places, and I might do this off stream. I do get 1,000 virtue. I don't get any Lotro points. So that's not, like, tremendously helpful. So apparently that whispering noise, I'm assuming that is the Kintai elves fading into the forests. It's like the spirit realm or something. It's kind of odd. I'm not sure about that lore in the Tolkien universe. It's either that or there's this dark temple, the Eternal One, and it's a temple to Morgoth. I'm assuming it's still Morgoth. We didn't really have any lore in this zone that led us to believe the talking, the whispery thing. But it does look very menacing and evil, so I still like to think it's that. So we're going to make our way across the bridge. And we'll look on my quest log here. So the Ikerman Valley is referring to these 4 zones. Emberil is how we started the Legacy of Morgoth. Kudzagim is a desert. Imhular is the one we're heading towards. And Urash Dar is up to the north. So, in terms of, what am I doing? I'm clicking things. Okay. So the Song of Waves and Wind is the epic quest that we're working on right now. We don't need mission. There's a lot of loot for. Oh, that's a mission. We'll unfollow that. I'm not really super interested in that. Crown of Hamat. Now, I believe this is a quest pack. The Kingdom of Hamat. And I can't remember if I purchased that quest pack or if because I became a VIP for a month, if I get that now. Oh, look at this. We haven't really discovered this temple yet. Alright, so here is the bridge, the span of Danagur. And this is going to transition into the next zone. So now we are leaving Kudzagim. Oh, look. This is cool. This is a really big dwarven looking bridge, actually. That bridge kind of reminds me, there's a bridge in World of Warcraft in I think it's the Arathi Highlands. It's like a dwarven bridge, but the orcs had destroyed it. Look, here's our companions right here on the road. It's like really rainy here.
This must be Imhular.
Imhular. Our traveling companions plan to make for the city of Kur Anzar, but I understand Thrasil wished us to first visit the grove of Artulin. I'm not opposed to this plan, but I suggest that we do not linger overlong at the grove. I'm concerned for the safety of my brother and the company of the kindred. I cannot say for certain, but Koltek or Rothhog were responsible for the disappearance of Seduk, but neither can I deny it completely. Look at that frog. Blighted marsh toad.
The emerald wood of Nisigim have been planted by the Ordakai, and it is no longer
He's hostile.
a green beauty. The emerald wood of Nisigim have been blighted by the Ordakai, and it is no longer a place of green beauty.
Now it is Adagim, the corpse holt, and Thorvlon. When I last walked in Varotulim, the grove remained healthy, but the circle of hail trees had already diminished from its original size. Northeast of Vartulin, the city of Kar Anzar was the birthplace of Shagani, kingdom of Hamat, earlier in the Third Age. For nearly 3,000 years, the Hamati fought against Gondor and the other rival kingdoms, until it was eventually absorbed by the Empire of Ordic. We do not know the state of it today. On our way to Vartulin, we should hunt some of the diseased animals that walk among the dead trees. Thorvalin oft desires to study the blighted creatures for some clue to curing the pestilence in Adagim. So, Imlahar, Mugala, and Sharu, and Adagim. Those are zones down to the south of us. Okay. Interesting. So this is a this is a new zone. I want to keep eyes on minerals. We're still in iridescent ore. That's still the same tier. Okay, we need to collect boar hoofs, serval fangs, and deer hides. We'll go north here. Looks like there's something here we need to collect. There's a jackal. The story of this expansion has been a little bit confusing. Like I said, there's not really a big bad, so it's just kind of like, eh. The zones have been really interesting. Look, diseased boar hoofs, but I don't see any boars. Ah, there we go. Here's a bunch of deer. I don't know. The story's been, unfortunately, kind of I think overall, kind of a miss. It's been interesting, like, but like the main story has just been kind of like, what are we doing here? Which, you know, it's not. It can't all be like super, like everything can't be amazing, like it can't be super riveting. I guess that's one sort of criticism I would give. Is this the main overarching story has been kind of like, eh. Like a lot of the Lotro stories, you know, you'll be doing something in the zone and then you'll have like some kind of epic battle or quest and confront a major enemy or something. Alright, this ruin has a bunch of boars. You know, and interestingly, this looks like a Gondorian ruin. I feel like the ambience is super loud. Yeah, it kind of looks Gondorian. Gondor did have settlements in Umbar. Or Numenor, I should say, because it would have been Numenor. So I did a tier list on the regions in all the games, and I hadn't played through the Shield Isles, Western Gondor, which is like King's Gondor, or like before you go to the Corsairs of Umbar, and obviously Umbar and Harad. So I'm thinking about updating or making a new video because I've played through several other zones and I think my tier list will have changed. For example, I put Evendim in my favorite. Oh look, here's a signature boar. Let's kill him. He might give some special loot. Yeah, I put Evendim in my favorites or top tier category. But I recently played through Evendim on a free-to-play account, and when you play on a free-to-play account, you don't have access to the boats. And not having access to the boats is like utterly just, I don't know, it almost makes the zone terrible. Just that factor alone. Like the quests are really cool, the zone looks really cool, but traversing the zone is such a nightmare without the boat system. If you are a VIP, you can use the boat system, so I feel like things like that, like there needs to be a distinguishing factor between free-to-play and VIP. This is a cool settlement, look at this. Ermak. Whoop, gonna break a leg probably. Yeah. Ermak, yeah. Alright, another settlement here. So let's find the travel point. This looks to be like the main hub of this area. And we need to find a millstone. There's a vault keeper. Forge master. Tons of quests. There's Mazadi.
Is there something you need?
So this is a quest to bring out. This must start the quest.
Is
The
there
Kingdom of
something you
Hamat.
need?
Crown of Hamat. Okay. Here's the Taskmaster. I don't have any new tasks for this area. There's the Travel Master. Let's definitely get that.
Today is a good day.
What say you, traveler?
I don't know if there's actually... a millstone here, surprisingly enough. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, let's make our home here. Here's a level 160 Guardian, and he has really cool armor. Alright, so we're gonna go out this way. We could pick up some of the side quests. That might be helpful. Look at this dead forest. Tir Qatar. Gotta kill these little bobcat looking things. Or these are lynxes, aren't they? Alright. I think the charge on the Guardian is one of the most fun things about the class. I do like the hammer down ability they've done in recent patches. Devastating blow that inflicts increased critical damage. And then rupture you can upgrade. Stopping the bleeding while dealing massive damage. So it like consumes all of your bleeds into like one massive attack. That's pretty nice. So the dead forest must be referring to this whole area. It's definitely dead or blighted or something. I think we're gonna try and take a picture of that. That might be our thumbnail. Let's go back up here. Let's see if there's any interesting side quests. We're gonna remove this from tracker. This is missions. Let's look at these quests.
This valley belongs to the Shagani, and no one else.
Shirash, one of the scouts, has returned to me with a harrowing report from southern Imhular. The rest of her scouting party has gone missing and haven't reconvened in a fortnight. She fears the worst. I am duty bound to stay here and defend Ermak from Okhisu and his Barkusum. What? And Kur and Zar, but I wish to ease her fears and deliver a resolution to these disappearances. Would you investigate the rumors? Okay.
Hashtal Gur, outsider. I am Mizadi Shara, Queen of Renewed Hamat.
Come at a fortuitous time. There is much to be done here in Ummak. My gaze is fixed in Kur and Zar. It was there that my forces and many innocents were driven, and recently forces of the All-Seeing, those accursed false prophets to the dead lord. Ooh, here's a lot of quests here. Okay.
Hashtal Gur, friend.
Investigate outskirts.
We are in need of someone with your...
So if I was gonna do... We might come back and do that, I think. We're gonna head down the way. Kur and Zar. Wait a minute. Speak with... I like to be efficient in these playthroughs, but I also don't want to be, like, completely exhaustive and do every single quest all the time. So...
Eh? Speak up now. You want to help? Eh? About time someone did. Is there something you need?
Let's see. Just pick up mine ore for the blacksmith. We'll go ahead and grab these just to save time and be efficient here.
Mizadi sent you. I'm glad someone is listening to my concerns.
There is a lot of lore here. I'm just feeling like I'm kind of behind in the main story, and I'd like to get caught up in the main story. And I'm getting kind of sidetracked with a lot of side quests, and then it just makes the main quest feel very disjointed. But you know, it's not necessarily the game's fault. So it gives me an idea of if I need to get some levels that I can come back here and quest in this general area. There's not really a right way to play it, I guess, is what I'm saying. You can kind of do what you want. Lord of the Rings Online, you really don't have to play all the side missions and side quests if you don't want to. See, these are level 150, and I'm already 152. So I don't really need the levels. Now, I could play it for the content. But I don't know. At some point I'll have another character come through here. This does look pretty menacing and interesting, this little area. Or for smithing. What is this? Oh, this is apparently what that guy needs. We'll go ahead and grab it. So anyways, I know there's like a way to be efficient and mid-max and do the maximum. I'm not really interested in that. Or being exhaustive like completionist. I just like to kind of naturally explore, and if the quest sounds interesting, I'll do it. If it doesn't, I'll just skip it. Lord of the Rings is pretty forgiving in that the only quests you probably need to do are the main ones. But you could level up if you're wanting to do like raiding or endgame or whatever. You really could just do missions and stuff and level up and forego all of the regular questing experiences. So that's a positive thing, I'd say. I don't like it when games, especially MMOs, force you to play a certain content, or you can't, you can't progress. I was a long time World of Warcraft player, and I remember I was kind of getting disenchanted with it around the Battle for Azeroth expansion, just because it was like, what is this? Just was kind of deviating from the game I knew. Then when I got to Shadowlands, there was like a mechanic that you had to do like this instant thing called Torghast, and it was like an endless dungeon, like self-generating. It always changed. That's what they said, but it didn't really. It was like the same cosmetic. It was like the same preset 10 things. So once you did it about 10 times, you'd seen everything that mechanic had to offer. But like you had to get to the end to get a thing to upgrade your gear, and that was like the only really way you could upgrade your gear. And that was like the most grindy, pointless, boring thing. And I was like, I'm being forced to do something I don't want to do. And Warcraft really kind of turned into like, it felt like a job. It's like, this is crazy. Like, what? You know, why play a game if it's going to make it feel like work? So, that's one thing I appreciate about Lord of the Rings Online, is that nothing in it feels like... There's definitely times where it's grindy, but it doesn't feel like it's an absolute necessity. Like, the really grindy bits are like, if you're trying to up a reputation, but you don't have to do that. Like, it's not an essential to the game. Or, there's certain elements I don't like in the game. Like, I'm not a fan of the skirmishes. I think the skirmishes are really boring and clunky. And, you know, you're just kind of waiting on NPCs to, like, path around. I don't like the Warsteed system, but I like the gameplay. I like the class, how the classes work in the game. I like the lore. I like the landscape. All of that jazz. Okay. This is also kind of what I mean, is like I'm spending a lot of time like finding this material for this guy. It's just like a random side quest. So we might come back and do this another time. This spawn is not super great. Let's just progress down the road here. I am curious to see what the story is behind this this forest, because it's cool looking. Kind of looks like Angmar, parts of Angmar. All right. Actually, there's a zone in World of Warcraft called the Ghostlands. It's the second zone in the Blood Elf starting area. It's been blighted by the Scourge, and it looks exactly like this. Like the trees are dead and they're all white. Rizal. That's one of the scouts. Let's come up this way. Let's grab the travel point, and then we'll backtrack and then come down here because this is the main quest. So we need to find Thorovin, leader of the Kintai, at Varlun in southern Imhular. That's our main quest, continuing the Kintai elves. So I'm more curious with that, but I do want to grab this travel point. This looks like an interesting ruin. Right, now we're going to go down this way, down the road. To the left. Yeah, these trees look super dead. Crazy looking. I wonder, like in a game development stance, like if this is, do you put trees that look like this, basically sticks, and then do you add leaves later? So like, is a situation like this is going to be a lot less work? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I follow the Lotro YouTube channel, and they have developers all the time on there that talk about how they build the worlds and the philosophy behind it and like what was happening on the Lotro team at that time. It's really interesting. I will say in the environment of Umbar and Harad has been really cool. They did a really good job with building these zones to be very interesting. Are these bugs hostile? They are hostile, huh? I don't need any more iridescent ore. I have tons of that. But if I can get it without being dismantled or stopping me, I'll grab it. That makes sense. Like this guy right here. Because if I don't need it on this character, it will expedite my leveling up process on a future character. I'm seeing some green trees. This must be the next grove of the elves. And we're seeing that purple trees again. Some kind of notice board there. Hey, this looks like a nice little grove. Nice little waterfall.
It is good to see you.
And we have a reward tracker here. And a task board. And here is Thorovin. Forvilin.
You have come to aid the Kintai of Vartulin with our work.
Ah, Siratrus. Siratrus stares blankly forward, her awareness once again untethered.
I see that Selirta still fights our people's fate.
I'm saddened to see it.
Saddened to see it, but not surprised.
He's still talking. She and I have spoken about it before. Her decision then was clear. I see it has not changed. How can it be easy to accept in others, and yet so difficult to accept when it affects those dear to us? Alas, I see the difficulty most clearly within my own family, and the contradiction is visible to me. But it is not my decision to make. Siritas and my words are subject to sway are neither for nor against. Thorvalin accepts the satchel containing the diseased hoofs, fangs, and hides from the pestilential creatures from the dead forest, and sadly looks them over. If there is aught to learn from these, we will learn. I dare not hope the blight can be reversed, and perhaps we can fight it. Silitars fights the fading.
The protective arts with which we ward our groves have become less effective over time.
Okay, so then the next quest, chapter 12.3, the Enroaching Darkness. The protective arts with which we ward our groves has been less effective over time. It is the hope of the Kentai that we will forestall the Enroaching Darkness long enough for our discoverer, long of us to discover a lasting solution. We have inscribed runes guarding and renewal upon the boundary stones. Will you retrieve some of them? Okay, I think what we're going to do is we're going to unfollow all of these, but not take them off our track. Abandon them.
What do you need?
Gather Sirlashi shoots from Rotherin. Okay, and we're going to pick up these
Oh, you are
quests
an outsider.
because these will probably better coincide with where we are. Blade of Two Edges.
To a stranger for our salvation.
And let's make our
Lead us,
millstone. Oh, that's a cool looking millstone. We don't need to go to Kudsagim again, and we also have a mission stable master that we could always travel to. So it's not going to be a huge deal.
May nature's blessings find you.
There is much to be done here if your hands are willing. The Lag Dervrit, the Pale Blight, has swept through our great forest, and once with Lathor, the great emerald wood has been sapped dry, trees turned to bone, and plants turned to ash. Now we call these woods Fafthro, the forest bone, but life still struggles to find a way. As the Artar Grove tender, I am responsible for tending and carrying the woods around you. As you can see, I am doing quite a poor job of it. Been known to scavenge seeds untouched as yet by the Pale Blight. I plant here in Vartulin. Okay. So, it is a blight.
May nature's blessings find you.
Speak to someone on the upper path.
May nature's blessings find you.
A plague of the Ordic. I know not only that it is only has been what I know not why, only that it is now, only it is how it's always been. If not men, then orcs, if not orcs, then men. We wish to exist and seem to wish we didn't. Others of my kin worry about Trothol, the wearying that comes with age. The southern men who call themselves the Ordic have made camps of Vartulin. They are quite dug in, with strong fortifications. Defeat them. Okay? Just kind of paraphrasing. These are your typical side quests.
There is a man who treats with us, Usaka. His ways are strange, but I believe he may have a powerful friend, Kuridwan, the Golden Maiden.
She is someone who could help us heal Velatun. This grove you see around you, ever since the southern men made their way through our forest, the trees have started dying, turning hard and white as bone. We call it Lag Darvrit, the Pale Blight. I believe it is tied to the southern men, but I cannot be sure. Much of what we do is profane to nature. As they burn and cut the trees, they brush, they meet, rather than existing within it. Okay. So that confirms... Well, it doesn't confirm, but as men have moved into this area, it's killed the forest, so there's something going on with that. Let's go across this bridge. Let's see, there's something going on here. Melanor. Okay, so I think we'll pick up these other quests. The main quest here, pick up boundary stones. Speak with Suresh. Oh no, place the boundary stone north of Toravin. Which is where? outside this way. Alright, then the other boundary stone over here. There it is. Alright. Oh, there's a chest. That's probably for exploration deed. Yep. Let's see. Gotta find 12 in this area. Those are really difficult. I never really do those. It's very, very time consuming. But it's cool that it's in the game if somebody wanted to be like a completionist. It looks like we gotta go up this path. The Crypts of Ishkumhaki. Down to the south. Yeah, these elves are really interesting. They're kind of like nomadic Lothlorien types. I am embarrassed, Bromvar. At least Thorvalen is a friend and understands the difficulties I have faced in these past few years. They have become more frequent as Thratrol seeks to claim me, but I will not allow it. I am eager to meet the others of your company and speaking with new folk. Having new experiences will help me starve off Trathrol. So Trathrol is like they're basically dying of old age.
Yes, we have lent some aid to Thorvalen. Now we should continue on to the northeast to rejoin the company.
My brother Corden will be very pleased to meet Silotars and to learn of her people, as was I. I keep saying her name differently because it's kind of a weird one. I have said our farewells to Thorvalen, and now we should travel to the north, where we can assess the situation in Kur and Zar. Silotars said the kingdom of Hamat was absorbed by Ordic, and the city may not be friendly to us or to representatives of Umbar. We seek to rejoin. Okay, so we're gonna head back north, and we'll pick the main quest up, which is the Enroaching Darkness, in the next episode.